Chromakopia could be album of the year. It could win a Grammy 1,000%.
I disagree because I don't think anything's ever better than Drake, but it's a great project.
Give Thug's Lawyer everything.
I'm surprised he hasn't dropped a song yet. I'm waiting for it.
I don't know if the Kendrick and Drake beef even happens if Thug's out of jail. Bro, Thug might be the peacemaker in hip hop.
I miss a lot of people being on songs. You remember like when Forever dropped, had like 5 of the best artists, and you're like, dude, this is...
Patrick Mahomes could be the first Jackie Moon ever to own the team, play on the team, and run the team.
About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on road for greatness. They paper getters, they want money.
Welcome to the Real Oshow. I'm Zachary. Joining me as always is my brother Joshua, and we're going to talk about a couple things today, but we're going to jump right into Tyler, the Creator's project. Joshua, Chromakopia. What did you think about it?
I thought it was great. Tyler, the Creator, hasn't dropped in a long time. He's kind of on a run right now, and it's kind of... His fans, I think, were in the midst of this dropping, being like, we don't know what we're going to get. I think he hasn't dropped since like Igor. That was like 2021. He might have had one before that. But still, this is his... Before this album, he had 3 number one albums in a row. Or actually, this makes it the 3rd number one album in a row. His 3 prior albums were all platinum, as well as this sold 300,000 in the first week. So just off the numbers alone, it looks really good. People are saying album of the year.
I've heard a lot of respectable people who... I trust their music opinion. They said it was album of the year. I disagree because I don't think anything's ever better than Drake, but it's a great project.
No,
it is a great project.
Listen, this is a great candidate for album of the year. Truthfully, like I'm a Drake stan. I think Drake, no one is better than Drake, but this is different than Drake. We talk about taking people on a journey in a music experience. Tyler, the Creator, is taking people on a fucking journey. I thought it was incredible. I've only listened to it once fully through, but my initial thought of it, I was like, damn. This has a lot of potential, especially if you're a Tyler, the Creator fan. If you're a Tyler, the Creator fan, you love this album.
I am not a Tyler, the Creator fan.
But you have to respect it.
No, I respect it. But like this, I'm coming at it from like a different lens because I'm not a fan. I listen to it for the love of the game, and it's a great project. I have a lot of respect for Tyler, and I have no complaints about it. It's something that I want to pay attention to more as he drops more music. But first listen, 4 songs on there, I'm like, bro, this is jumping.
Zachary doesn't like anything that isn't Drake and melodic, so I can understand why he doesn't appreciate this album to the full length of it. But as I listen to this, I'm like, damn, this is some good shit. This is an album that sounds like no one else. It is original. In today's music, it's hard to be original. Like Tyler, the Creator is a true his name. He's a great creator. He creates, like, whether it's in acting, whether it's in like a short form skit, whether it's in a movie or making music, Tyler, the Creator, can do it all. He is a master class, and that's what this album was. It was a master class.
Listen, I agree. I actually wrote down some notes, and I said, Tyler is so creative, he can make the music funny, is literally what I wrote down. He's so at a different level, like operating, that he can make the music funny. And the reason I wrote that down is the song Judge Judy. I was like, bro, he's like kind of skitting this out. He's kind of rapping, really telling a story. I'm like, bro, he is so gifted that I'm like, it's almost like what Eminem does, almost to a fault a little bit, where like back in the day when you told these stories that really mattered, now it's kind of like, what's the beat sound like? Does it, do you kind of flow on it? Can you go in and out, different levels? It's a different game now. So I have a lot of respect for Tyler, the Creator, on this project.
Another thing I want to touch on with this album, great features.
Yes.
Daniel Caesar, Tizo touchdown, incredible.
I really like Tizo.
Even the Sexy Red song, I thought I thought that was hot.
Bro, I literally have the notes. Sticky. The song is sticky. The beat goes hard. And I literally wrote down, I miss a lot of people being on songs. Like, you remember like when Forever dropped? Had like 5 of the best artists, and you're like, dude, this is crazy. Like, not that this is going to be a song like
but
Forever,
that was Sexy Red, Gorilla, Lil Wayne, some other people around as well.
I'm like, man, I wish we would get back to like having 5 people on a song and like everybody's competing to have the best verse, because that's what like Forever is, a generational song.
Or Bedrock. Bedrock had like 10 features on it.
Bro,
crazy.
Cash Money, Young Money used to do it the best.
Yeah, but I less like it when it's Cash Money, Young Money used to do it as like a label song. I don't care for the label songs as much as I like. But, I want the Avengers coming together and making a song.
That was Forever.
100%.
But even Bedrock is still a classic. You can do it if you have the right artist and sounds good. But anyways,
listen, Daniel Caesar, though, I just want to say Daniel Caesar, you rarely get him out of the woodworks, but holy shit, when he comes out as if you have a Daniel Caesar feature, it's a hit. Or a Tizo touchdown feature. That's also coming true. Tizo makes hits, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Tizo makes hits.
Chromakopia is like taking your mask off. And I actually wrote down, before I even knew what that meant, is the song Take Your Mask Off had great flow by Tyler. Listen, he's honestly made me a fan. I went and tossed him an IG follow. I'm going to pay attention.
Yeah. Listen,
I'm going to be honest. I always thought he was a weirdo, and he definitely is. But listen, he is super creative, and I'm going to keep a really close eye on it. And I'm going to re-listen to the project because I don't want to get too critical or like say it's the best. I've only listened to it once, so I need to listen to it again. But honestly, first listen. If you haven't listened yet, go listen. If you have, let us know what you think.
It's November 8th, and I think that there's been a lot of good albums that have dropped. But I will say, Chromakopia could be album of the year. It could win a Grammy, 1,000%.
It's corporate.
It's not even that it's corporate. It is built like that album could be commercially used. It could be used everywhere. Like that is just, everyone could appreciate that album. And I truly think that it could be a contender for album of the year. And that's with like a Rod Wave album dropping. I think Rod's coming into his own a little bit as well. But I think
Tyler's on a way different level than Rod.
When you compare like a Rod Wave album to Tyler the Creator, and this is coming from someone who has seen Rod Wave live multiple times, going to see him again in December. Tyler the Creator, from a Grammy standpoint, I thought had a higher notch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But
So
he's
that's-
also on a different level.
That's what I'm saying.
Different
I think
level.
it's different
Different
levels
music,
of
too.
a different production, a different story. Like it was incredible. I was very impressed with Tyler the Creator.
So while we're talking music, Young Thug is out finally. What was it, 2 years?
He was in for 2 years.
2 years.
Which
And
is incredible. Give Thug's lawyer everything. Bro,
Yeah.
shout out to Thug's lawyer. He's going to have every rapper, every Rico
he
case
just got
in the
really,
world.
really rich.
He was already really, really rich.
But, he obviously took a plea deal to get out, and it has a very set required guidelines. And I said that very bad, but has very tough guidelines. Like can't be in Atlanta, 15 years of parole, can't rap about 90% of what he was actually rapping about.
I think
so it'll
Thug
be
not
really
being in
interesting how he plays it.
I think Thug not being in Atlanta is the best thing for Thug.
Of
I think getting
course.
him as far away from Atlanta as possible would be the best case. Obviously,
It's what NBA Youngboy did.
from
as
someone
well.
who's been on probation for one single year, I can tell you, horrid. It's a horrible feeling. Not to mention he has a 20-year stipulation. I would have been like going to jail for like
I thought
a
it was
couple months.
15.
It's 15 years, but if he breaks it, he has to go to prison for like 20 years. So it's like you can't do it. Now, I don't know what the full length is. Can he drink? Is he allowed to smoke weed? I don't know. Does he have to call in every morning for drug tests? I don't know what the fuck the stipulation of the extent of his parole is, but it's going to be ironclad. It's going to be very interesting to see how Thug operates in music. Now, I will say, Thug can do whatever he wants. I could see him coming out with he might get out of hip hop. He might go straight fucking alternative or some shit. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. He'd go EDM. I don't know. But I will say this. I could genuinely see Thug make a collaboration album with Gunna. I'm going to be the first one to say
No,
it's
he's
November
definitely
8th.
gonna.
It's
He's
November
definitely
8th,
gonna.
2024. Young Thug, Gunna are going to make a collaboration album. Nothing has been said about this. I'm making this rumor up. But I'm just saying, I know Thug. He specifically asked the judge to be allowed to work with Gunna. What other reason? What other point? What a marketing mix to do that. What a rollout.
They are bringing back the bros.
What a
Lil Baby's going to be in that
Yeah,
too.
but what a rollout, though. Go to prison for 2 years, get out, beat a RICO charge. Now here's an album with the boys that were just in the pen. What
I
a
agree.
rollout. What a fucking album rollout.
I'm surprised he hasn't dropped a song yet. I'm waiting for it. I want the song.
The First Day Out song came out on Twitter, and I don't know if that was AI, if it was a leak, or what it was. It could have been all of the above. I
think
no
it was
fucking
AI.
clue.
It was definitely AI.
I thought it was AI too when I heard it, but there were a couple bars on it. And whether it was AI or not AI, Thug definitely heard that shit.
Listen, I am beyond excited. Feels right. Now, we got Thug, lost Dirk. Like, there's definitely a little trade going on there, but, hats off to his lawyer. Really happy for Thug. I've been screaming free Thug for a while. But really, really looking forward to that project as well.
We need Thug music as soon as possible. We need some Drake and Thug. We need a lot of people in Thug. And I think Thug is actually going to unite the rap game. He already has started. Drake and Future have kind of patched up that beef because of Thug. I think there's going to be a lot more unity in the hip hop game with him out. I don't even know. Crazy theory. I don't know if the Kendrick and Drake beef even happens if Thug's out of jail. But Thug might be the peacemaker in hip hop. I don't know.
It's interesting. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Bro,
Maybe.
I think Thug's a good dude. I
agree.
Know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think everybody respects him. I think Drake and Kendrick, I think that's at a completely different level than Thug. Thug is kind of like, your rapper's favorite rapper. But
exactly.
Drake and Kendrick is like everybody's favorite artist.
Exactly.
So it's a little different, but interesting.
But I think that it's all the dominoes, right? Like the Kendrick Drake beef isn't as big if Future and Metro don't come at him, and then everyone else come at him, and then all these waves of things happen. Then The Weeknd starts coming in on it. I think it was all this. It was a coursed hit, and I think a lot of that gets taken away if Thug's there. So I think it's a lot less as big now. Anytime Drake and Kendrick are beefing, those are two heavyweights. Everyone's going to tune in and watch that, and I don't know how many people are going to be able to stop it. Obviously, it was a pent-up thing over a decade-long feud, but still, to me, I think it would have been less big had Thug been in there in the middle of it.
So let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. Going to be probably the youngest, not probably, he will be the youngest billionaire athlete currently playing, and this pisses me off, man. Our Lions are going to have to play them in the Super Bowl.
I hope so.
I'm
Listen,
fucking pissed.
Shout out to Patrick Mahomes because he's had enough people before him to like kind of see the workings of what could happen. You look at a guy like LeBron James who's done everything right outside of basketball in the sense of like investing, building companies, building brand, using social media, etc. Patrick Mahomes doesn't even really use social like that, but has built brands, bought teams. He's been so successful. He's won Super Bowls, so he's got tons of fucking money. He can do whatever he wants. He's obviously a sports icon, but he's doing it so right. He's investing in the sports boom. Obviously, it's what he knows. He's what he's passionate about. So, like, kudos to him. He's obviously going into that. But for him to own 4 major sports teams already, and he's not even getting started, like, he's going to own an NFL team. Like, I was thinking that Patrick Mahomes could be the first Jackie Moon ever to own the team, play on the team, and run the team. Like, straight up. Like, he literally
player
could.
Coach. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great comparison.
He really could.
I mean, it definitely will never happen, but
The
either way.
NFL wouldn't allow it, but it really could be the thing. Like, if you don't think that the Hunt family wouldn't give Patrick a piece of that company, like, you know what I mean? Like, he built it to what it is today, essentially. Like, now, don't get me wrong. The Kansas City Chiefs had championships before Patrick Mahomes got there. But the guy, when it's all said and
sucked for a long time.
I know, but they had championships. Like, the Hunt family still had won championships in the past. My point is, when it's all said and done, Patrick's going to bring them fucking 5-6 ships. And at some point, you got to pay the piper. You got to pay the piper a little bit.
I mean, he's getting paid.
100% he's getting paid. But he could also leave. He stayed loyal to them. And if you look at Patrick's deals, all of Patrick's deals are very team friendly. Of course. So how can you not take a guy like
it's
that?
It's all on the back end.
But why? For example, let me give you this. I thought it was the biggest mistake that Robert Kraft didn't have Tom Brady come be a part of the ownership group. Like, whether he didn't want to give out a piece, whatever. But the fact that the Raiders now have Tom Brady at the helm to understand, I know what championship culture is. I know what a fucking good team looks like. That is knowledge you cannot buy. When you have all these billionaires that they might have been very good in their industry, well, guess what? They never played a sport in their fucking life. You know what I mean? Go look at every billionaire in the world. I doubt any of them really played sports.
Of course.
So
they were making money.
Exactly. That's my point. So when you need a Tom Brady, when you don't have Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball for anymore, you should have his know-how, his insight, his feel of the game should be never leaving your building. And you definitely don't want him owning another fucking team that you're competing against that he's going to help them get better.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I haven't thought about him owning the Patriots. You know,
like, why
but now
did he
he's
not?
with the Raiders. I mean, it's very smart that the Raiders gave that to him.
Look at, you know what? I'm not calling it. I'm setting all my shots today. Shedeur Sanders is going to go to the fucking Raiders.
Well, that's what they want.
Listen, that's what the NFL wants.
The NFL is going to give that.
Well, it's not even that, because Dion is going to hold them hostage. He's going to be like, I'll just have my kids stay another year. Fuck you guys. Like, he has the ability to do that. He has the ability to be like, my kid will just play another year. Fuck you guys. And guess what? If Eli Manning could do it and Archie Manning could do it, Deion fucking
I don't
Sanders
know if
can
did
do it.
Archie do it. Eli definitely did it.
Well, Eli
was drafted by the
Archie-
Chargers.
But Archie was the one. Archie was the one who said, "My kid will not fucking play there," and he called the shot. They had to make a whole fucking wing at the Hall of Fame for Deion. You don't think that he doesn't have say in what the fuck goes on?
No, listen.
Come on.
It's the NFL's rigged. He's definitely going to Vegas.
Did you not see the owner of
Listen,
Vegas at the game?
Let's talk about this. Shedeur Sanders, I don't think he's as good as people think. I don't think he's NFL good.
I'm gonna be just looking at the landscape of college football right now. There's 2 quarterbacks that I think are worth a fucking piss in the wind.
Shedeur's definitely one of them.
It's Cam Ward is his name, the
Ward,
Miami guy, and Shedeur Sanders. Quinn Ewers is gonna be a fucking nobody.
I agree.
Carson Beck is gonna be a fucking nobody. So who
agree.
else is there? Well, the
Dylan
BY Jew?
Gabriel.
I don't know.
No, Dylan Gabriel.
You know what I mean?
From Oregon, lefty.
Okay, I don't like lefty quarterbacks.
I agree.
So
But he is a hooper.
Here's my thing.
He is a hooper.
When you look at the landscape, I think Shedeur is going to be a player. I think Shedeur has the fucking microscope on him. If he even looks at someone the wrong way, it's all over ESPN. It's all over every headline. It's all over everything. To me, Shedeur is never painted in a good light. Like for me, from a standpoint, like he's never painted in a positive light. Like, oh, he earned this. It's, oh, he's Deion's kid. Oh, he does this.
Listen, he's a real player.
He's a player.
He's a real player. It just sucks when you get into these moments. It's like, bro, I always think about when the Lions drafted Matt Stafford. Like, there hasn't been that good of a quarterback since Matt Stafford that it's like you drafted him like Hall of Famer. Like Andrew Luck, I think got drafted like the year after, or a couple years after. Like, there hasn't been a quarterback like that in a long time. And it scares me as an NFL team if I'm drafting like that. Like Stafford, you're like Hall of Famer. I look at Shedeur and I'm like, good, shows spurts, but I don't know. Like, is that worth a number 1 overall pick? I do not know.
Listen, I said the same thing about Jaden Daniels. I was like, he looks really good in college. He plays well. Now, don't get me wrong, Jaden was at LSU playing better competition than what Colorado is. Beside the point.
And won the Heisman.
Which Shedeur will not win the Heisman.
Will not.
And I will looking at body type, Jaden looks better. Like body type. If I look at just the eye test, I'm like, Jaden looked better. With all that being said, I think having a mobile quarterback, especially in the realm of what that class is, like there's a reason why Deion didn't have Shedeur go last year. He knew that was a really good quarterback class. He knew that this next quarterback class had nobodies. So it's like it's a perfect pinpoint for Shedeur holds the leverage, especially if Colorado makes the playoff. Like they win the fucking Big 12 or whatever the fuck, which I don't think they will. But
what are they? And they're in. It's got to be the Big 12.
It's Big 12.
It's got to be Big 12.
It's Big 12. Which it's like Colorado is so irrelevant to me. Like I would never watch a game, even though I do love Deion. I love everything about it. I might watch a highlight. I'll watch their vlog all day long.
Yeah.
Now, for me to go watch their game,
I'll watch a game.
See, they're either playing at the noon game, which is like 10 a.m. their time, or it's like the fucking midnight game. So it's like there's no in between. So to me, I think Shedeur is going to be he's going to be a top 3 pick, but he could be the number 1 overall pick just because there's no other quarterbacks. There's none.
I agree. Let's stay on football here.
Yeah.
Fox, 3 months before the Super Bowl, might even be 4 months, sold out every Super Bowl slot.
Classic.
And that is a record $7 million for 30 seconds. And there's roughly 70 to 80 commercials. There's been one year that had like 92, but roughly 70 to 80. Sold it out 3 months before. That's incredible.
Yeah, so they had $600 million in ad revenue. Zachary doesn't think that it's necessarily worth the buying of it.
I fully believe that you should spend $7 million on a Super Bowl commercial if you can afford it.
Well, you're saying that Fox. You're saying that Fox.
I just want to clarify. The commercial, great. Fox, like these TV studios, I don't know if it's worth it. Obviously, you get your brand out there, like Fox, but they're losing money. Like they're definitely losing money on the NFL. Like they pay $2 billion a year. They get the Super Bowl 1 every 3 years. And you're making $600 million off one game. Okay, and obviously they're making money, throughout the week, and they get the game of the week and whatever, they get playoff games. But like, this is like not a good deal. Like Amazon is going to be hosting the Super Bowl in like 5 years.
But to me, it's almost like you have to do it. You're damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
I fully agree with that.
And so here's my thing. I also think that a company like Fox, for example, they really don't give a fuck about the ad revenue that it's bringing in. Like that $600 million is cool, but I think it's a bigger purpose of like, there's a lot of these prestigious brands that need to stay relevant. Cable is dying. Streaming is up. So instead of the streaming platforms giving all the power, they are like, we have to take some back. We have to force people to tune into our network. So 1. 2, with that being where you force people to go to your network, they have to come watch it because they're getting football games. They're not just getting the Super Bowl, so they're getting other games. So you're making ad revenue throughout the year, whatever. That's beside the point. But you're also able to push your own agenda on there. Therefore, when Fox has a bunch of produced shows, when Fox owns a movie or X, Y, and Z, they're allowed to promote that. So essentially, paying for the Super Bowl, that $2 billion a year, is almost like them buying an ad in the NFL. You're putting yourself with the NFL. And I think that is the biggest, strongest brand in the world. So by you paying that $2 billion, it's almost like you're paying an ad.
Listen, I fully agree. They have the money. That's why they do it. There's a reason why like Amazon and I don't think Peacock has a playoff game. Amazon has Thursday night. Amazon's definitely going to compete with these brands, like no doubt. That's why I said like Amazon's going to host a Super Bowl.
I mean, Amazon's got money to burn.
But year after year, they have to be losing money. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going against the brand. I'm saying it is not worth it to pay the NFL $2 billion. And at some point, these contracts are going to go way down in the NFL.
I agree.
I fully believe it. Like these TV deals, like just like the NBA. Mark Cuban's like, oh, the players are going to make more than the owners. I completely disagree. Never will that happen. Never.
I don't know if that would ever happen. I think
because the next TV deal is going to be way less than what it is now.
It could be. I think that at some point the TV deals are going to cap because people don't care about sports enough. Like I don't think that it makes enough sense because at some point sports are going to top off. I think the only way that sports stay afloat, we were talking about this weekend, is gambling. Gambling is the one thing that will float sports and allow it. When all these TV deals get crazy, to watch an NFL season, it costs like $1,200 to watch a whole season on TV. That's a lot of fucking money.
I think NFL Sunday ticket is like a couple thousand.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of fucking money. And to be honest with you, at some point when you're not that interested in it, what's going to happen? So that's where the betting companies come in. Companies like FanDuel who, hey, place a bet, you can watch the game. That's how it's going to get floated.
In your area.
Exactly.
If it's in your area.
But it's going to get floated like that. That's how everything's going to start turning into, oh, instead of paying for the TV package, if you just bet on the games, we'll let you watch them. And I think that's how these TV deals are going to end up getting crafted is like, how much money is being gambled? And it's not going to be like, oh, Fox and this. It's going to be like, no, DraftKings owns the NFL. If you want to watch an NFL game, you got to watch DraftKings. Like, that's kind of how I see this going because how else can these TVs pay billions and billions of dollars but only get hundreds of million back?
I fully agree.
Over time, where does it go? I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, Fox from this quarter, this year to last year, the same quarter, they're down like $250 million net income. Like, I maybe got a little math equation in there for people that made it this far, but being down $250 million in 1 year, and I'm not saying that's all from the NFL, of course not, but like that is a heavy, heavy fee just to get the Super Bowl once every 3 years and to get $600 million. Like to me, like they're at most breaking even. Like at most it's
but I feel like if you're a media company and you break even, it's worth it. Like if you're a media company that breaks even, it's worth it because it's the ads. It's over time you're getting that publicity. It's that name brand.
I just think Amazon, Peacock, betting platforms are going to start taking away these games from Fox and CBS and NBC. And they're going to die. And obviously
YouTube's going to win.
Well, YouTube already has NFL Sunday Ticket now, I believe.
Yeah, they do.
And I think it's also maybe DirecTV. Maybe DirecTV actually lost it.
But YouTube will give you college games now. It's like game of the week.
YouTube TV is great.
Yeah, it's real. These platforms are definitely coming in, and it's real.
Yeah. If you made it this far, drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, comment wristband, and please. If you comment wristband,
DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Fuck. We've had like 6 comments and 0 DMs on Instagram.
DM us on Instagram at @thereal_Oshow. DM us, say wristband. The only reason why we're doing that is because we don't want you to put your address in the comments. So creepos are like, oh, we now know this person's address.
Literally.
That's the full reason. It's not because I don't want to send you a wristband. It's because I don't want your address on the internet. So DM us wristband. Feel free to still comment wristband and we will get you one. But
Awesome. Till next time.
Peace.
I gotta stack out this gold. I tell you I'm on the road. About to get all this dough. Me and no fuck niggas know. I swear to God we the ghosts. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my